Hello my dear students. So I would like to welcome you all to the YouTube channel of ODA Class. So are you all ready? Are you all excited to learn something new in today's session from Abha ma'am? So as you all know that in the previous session we did about simple equations. So let's have one more lecture on simple equations itself. Before that, I would like to tell you about ODA Class. So ODA Class is the most innovative live learning app, and you can find the app on the App Store as well as on the Play Store. And with that, if you're going to like the class, if you're going to love the session, you can enroll yourself into the 1 week of amazing course, and for which you can find the link in the description below. So if I talk about myself, my name is Abha Sharma, as you all know. If I talk about my experience, it's been more than 6 years that I'm teaching, and in these 6 years I have mentored more than 50,000 students. Talking about my academic background, I have done BTech from IP University, and here I am the master teacher of maths. Moving ahead, if I talk about, before starting the session, it's important that we are having a recap of what we did in the previous session. So if I talk about just recapping what we did in the previous session, so in the previous session we actually did about how we can find the solution of any equation. So we can find the solution of any equation by 3 methods that we did. So the first was the trial and the error method, where you are going to put different values and going to check from where we are getting the answer. The second was the balancing method, where we are going to perform the same operation on both sides of the equal to sign. And third was the transposition method, where we have to just move the numbers from one side of the equal to sign to the other, and while doing that we have to also change the sign of the numbers, right? So now if I talk in today's class we are actually going to talk about the different applications of simple equations. Obviously, if we are doing any chapter of maths, we need to know that where are we going to use that chapter in real life, correct? So in today's session, we are actually going to talk about some of the applications of simple equations. Yes? So let's just start with some of the applications of linear equations and talk about where we find these applications and where we can see that okay, here we have to use simple equations. So if I talk about the different type of problems that we get, that is related to some number sums we find, some age problems, some questions related to ratio, money problems, and many more type of problems you find in simple equations, which are actually the applications of the same. Yes, so let's talk about the very first question for today. So firstly, we all know that how we can form an equation, right? We did this previously, that how we can form an equation. So for that, it's very important that we are understanding that what is written in the question, right? So let's just read this question together and see how we are going to form the equation and further going to find the solution for the same. Okay, so now if I talk about this question, the question says 7 times a number decreased by 3 equals 18. So now let's go word by word and try to form the equation and see how we are going to do the same, right? So if I talk about the question here, this says 7 times a number. Now if we have a number, we can take the number as any variable here. So let's take the variable as the first letter of my name, which is A. Okay, so here the number is A. Okay, so now what we have to do? We have to do 7 times a number. 7 times a number means we have to do 7A, right? 7A means 7 multiplied by A. Moving ahead, decreased by 3. Decrease means we have to subtract. We are going to do the subtraction here. So here this number is going to be decreased by 3. Okay, so this is 7A minus 3. Now if I talk about the answer here, this is actually equal to what? It is equal to 18 as per the question, right? So that we will say that, okay, then this is equal to 18. Is it clear? Now moving ahead, if I talk about, we can solve this equation. The first thing that we have is, we have formed the equation. So forming the correct equation is a very important part in simple equations, especially while doing the applications of simple equation. Okay, talking about this thing now, you can solve this equation using any of the 3 methods that we did in the previous class. Okay, so let's just start this equation. Let's do it with the balancing method, right? So let's do one thing. We are going to do here is adding 3 both sides. Okay. So we are going to add 3 both sides. What are we going to get? We will get it as 7a minus 3 plus 3. So the method that we are using here is the balancing method. That means we are going to add the same number on both the sides, right? So that is going to be 18 plus 3. So here we will get it as 7a is equal to 21. Now what we are going to do? So we know that we need to keep the variable on one side. So here if we have to keep the variable on one side, that means we also have a 7 on the left hand side. Correct? So in that case, what are we going to do? We are just going to divide this by 7. Right? So let's just go ahead with this and divide the equation by 7 on both the sides. Right? So 7a divided by, so what we will do, 7a divided by 7. We will have this as 7a divided by 7 and is equal to 21 divided by 7. Okay. So what we could see here, what is the answer that we are going to get? If I talk about the answer that we are going to get after this, that will come out to be that a is equal to what? A is coming out to be equal to 3. So this is the answer that we have got after solving this equation. Now there is one thing which is very important whenever we are solving any equation, right? And we are coming from one step to the next step. Whenever we are doing this, there is one step which is very important. When firstly, if you are done with the formation of equation, you are going to write the formation. If you are simplifying it in the next step, you need to put this sign. That means this is equivalent to the step that you are writing in the next line. Okay. So that's important that you need to put this equivalent sign. That means this statement is equivalent to this statement and this statement is further equivalent to the next statement that you could see. Clear? Moving on. Now let's move to the next question. I hope you all are clear with this question. Now let's move to the next question. The question says if the sum of two given numbers is 30. Okay, you have two different numbers, right? But all we know is that the sum of these two numbers, is actually equal to 30. So now what we are given with is that the ratio of these two numbers is 2 by 3 and we have to find the numbers. Okay. So now here you need to understand this thing. First understand what's the relation between the two numbers, right? The relation between the two numbers is that the sum of these two numbers is 30. That's the relation that we are given with. So let's talk about the first number here. Okay, so let's just talk about the first number. The first number, let's just take it as y. Yes. And if I ask you what is going to be the second number, then if we have taken the first number as y, the second number is going to be, if I see, then as we know that the sum of two numbers is equal to 30. So can we say that the second number is equal to 30 minus y? Yes. If one number, let's take an example. Let's take that one number is 10, right? If I talk about the other number, right? In that case, if the sum is 20, if the sum is 30, then other number is going to be 30 minus 10, no? So clearly, the other number is going to be 30 minus y. Now let's talk about what we are given with in the question. In the question we are given with that the ratio of these two numbers, if I talk about writing the numbers in the form of ratio, the ratio of these two numbers is actually 2 by 3. So let's just write this in the form of a ratio and see what is going to be the answer, right? So let's just write it as y by 30 minus y. This is actually equal to 2 by 3. Clear? That this is equal to 2 by 3. So now can we just do the cross multiplication here to solve this question further? Yes. So let's just solve it by doing the cross multiplication, and what are we going to get after doing the cross multiplication? Yes, I believe we all can do the cross multiplication here. So what are we going to get? Let's just do it. We will get it as 3y is equal to 2 multiplied by 30 minus y. Isn't it? Yes? So let's just write it as 3y is equal to 60 minus 2y. Right? We have just opened this bracket. 2 multiplied by 30 is equal to 60 and 2 multiplied by minus y is equal to minus 2y. This is how we have solved the question. Now moving ahead, let's just do the transposition here, because we need to bring the variables on the same side, and here we could see that one side we have 3y while on the other side we have is minus 2y. So let's do the transposition here, and after that we are going to solve the question. Right? So that is going to be, if we just solve this, so this is going to be 3y plus 2y, which is equal to 60. We are going to get it as 5y is equal to 60, and we will get the value of y as 60 divided by 5. That will come out to be 12. So what we could see that we have actually got one number here. So what was y initially? If I ask you what was actually y was basically the first number that we had, isn't it? So if we see here, we have got the first number is 12. Let's talk about the second number. What was actually the second number? The second number was actually 30 minus y. Clearly, so if I talk about, firstly you will write that, okay, first number is equal to 12. Right? And if you talk about the second number, that will come out to be 30 minus y, which is equal to 30 minus 12, then that will come out to be 18. Isn't it? Yes? So I hope we all are very much clear with our answer. Right? So if I talk about the two numbers here, we have got the two numbers as 12 and 18. This is how we have got the numbers. Clear? So if we just have a look at the numbers, we can easily see this thing that, okay, the numbers they sum up to, if we talk about the question here, the question statement says the sum of the two numbers is 30. Clearly 12 plus 18 is equal to 30. Other than that, the second question in the second condition in the question was the ratio of the numbers need to be 2 by 3. Are we getting the ratio as 2 by 3? Clearly yes, because 12 by 18 is actually 2 by 3. So in this way, we can also check our answers. Done? Okay, now moving on, let's just move to the next question. Let's see what we have as a next question. Talking about the next question, the question says the breadth of a rectangle is 2 by 3 of its length. If its perimeter is 40 meters, find its dimensions. So now the question says that the breadth of a rectangle is 2 by 3 of the, if we talk about the breadth of a rectangle, right, is 2 by 3 of its length. Okay, so here what we are going to do is we will take the length as, let's take the length as x. Okay, clearly in that case, if the length is x and the breadth is actually 2 by 3 of the length, so that is going to be 2x by 3, right? So now we have got the length and the breadth. So now if I ask you that what is the formula for finding the perimeter, I believe everyone knows the formula how to find the perimeter of a rectangle. The formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle is twice of length plus breadth. Yes? So we all know what is the formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle. Yes? So let's just write the formula for finding the perimeter first. So perimeter is equal to twice of length plus breadth. So can we just substitute the value of length and breadth here? Yes? So now we are given within the question that the perimeter of the rectangle is 40. So we can just put 40 here, right, is equal to twice of what is the length? Length is x, and what is the breadth? Breadth is actually 2 by 3x or 2x by 3. So this is the equation that we have got. So the first thing that is important for us to is the formation of equation. Clearly we are able to form the equation here. that the perimeter is 40 while it is twice the length plus breadth. Length is x while the breadth is 2x by 3, right? So are we all ready for solving this question now? That how are we going to solve this equation? Let's do it together and see what is the length and the breadth that we are going to get here. So now if we have this as 40 is equal to twice of, and in the bracket we have x plus 2x by 3. If we are going to just solve it, we know that we can write it as 3x by 3 plus 2x by 3. This is how we can write it. Yes. So now let's just solve it. 40 is equal to 2 and we will get here as 5x by 3. Yes, in the bracket we are going to get is 5x by 3. Now can we just do some sort of transposition and find out the answer to this? Yes? Okay, let's go for it then. We are going to get this as 40 is equal to 10x by 3. Yes? So what we could see here, that we are going to get the value of x as, it is going to be 40 into 3 divided by 10, which is equal to x, right? So we could see that we will get the value of x as 12. And if I talk about what was the unit, so in the question it was given that the unit of perimeter is 40 meters. So clearly here also the value of length will come out to be 12 meters. Yes. Now if I talk about if this is the length, what is going to be the breadth? If this is the length, what is going to be the breadth here? So in the question it was given that the breadth is actually 2 by 3 of the length. Yes. So let's just see what is going to be the breadth here. So here the length is actually 12 meters, while if we have to find the breadth, which is actually 2x by 3, so that will come out to be 8 meters, right? So this is how we are going to get the length and the breadth of the rectangle. Clear? Yes, I hope everybody is clear with the question. Okay, now moving on, let's have the next question, right? Let's just understand what is the next question that we have. Now, this question is actually based on age. So far we have seen a question based on numbers, based on perimeter, or I would say mensuration. Now let's move to the third type of questions that we get in the chapter of simple equations while doing the applications of the same. So let's read the question first together. Mira's mother is 4 times as old as Mira. So now whatever the age of Mira is, Mira's mother is 4 times of her age. So that's the first part of the question. Let's go word by word while understanding the question. So firstly, whatever is the age of Mira, Mira's mother's age is actually 4 times of her age. Okay. Now what happens? After 5 years, her mother will be 3 times as old as she will be then. What are their present ages? Now, the question says that Mira's mother is 4 times as old as Mira. So now, if I talk about, let's just do one thing. Let's take Mira's age as x. Okay. So let's just do this. Let Mira's age be x, right? If Mira's age is x, what will be the age of Mira's mother, right? So we will say that Mira's mother is equal to 4x. Clearly, if Mira's age is x, Mira's mother is what? Mira's mother is 4 times of Mira's age. Clearly, so age of Mira's mother is 4x. Now let's move with the question further. The question says after 5 years. Okay, firstly, I want to ask you a question. What will happen after 5 years? It is very obvious that the age of Mira as well as of her mother is going to increase by 5 years, isn't it? Yes. So now let's just talk about a scenario where we will be talking about their ages after 5 years. Okay, let's just move ahead with this. So now let's just find out after 5 years. So after 5 years, what will happen? Age of Meera as well as of her mother is going to increase. So after 5 years, Meera is going to be x plus 5. I hope you all agree to this, that the age of Meera is of course going to increase by 5 years. And what will happen with Meera's mother? Her age will also increase. Right? Clearly, if we talk about Meera's mother also, then her age is also going to increase. Isn't it? So, if I talk about Meera's mother, then Meera's mother, the current age was 4x. So, after 5 years, what will happen? Her age is going to be 4x plus 5. Right? I hope this thing is clear to you. That firstly, present age of Meera is x, Meera's mother is 4x. Right? After 5 years, what will happen? Age of Meera is going to be x plus 5, while age of Meera's mother is going to be 4x plus 5. So this is something which we can actually understand from the very first statement here. Now moving on, let's understand and let's read the question further. Her mother will be 3 times as old as she will be then. So now what is happening? जो भी मीरा की मदर की एज है, that will actually be 3 times the age of मीरा. Okay? पहले क्या था? Present years में मीरा की जो मदर है उसकी एज इज 4 times more than मीरा's age. Right? Correct. Now what happens after 5 years? Obviously the ages will be increasing, right? So in that case, what is happening? Her mother will be 3 times as old as she will be then. So clearly, let's talk about the scenario after 5 years. Okay, let's just understand the scenario after 5 years. After 5 years, what will happen? Firstly, age of Meera's mother is 4x plus 5. Now, age of Meera's mother is equal to what? As per the question, it is actually equal to 3 times the age of Meera that time. And what is the age of Meera that time? That is actually x plus 5. So now, this is the most important thing here. So whenever you are doing any question of age, right? So you will find similar type of questions while doing this. So firstly, you have to write their present ages, right? Second step would be you have to write their ages, either it is before that particular time or after that particular time as per the question. The third thing is going to be formation of this statement after reading the question. So these are the 3 important steps that has to be followed while making an equation, while doing the formation of an equation. Okay. So now let's just solve this question. Okay. And have this as 4x plus 5 is equal to 3x plus 15, right? So now let's just do the transposition here. We are going to get is 4x minus 3x is equal to 15 minus 5. So we are going to get the value of x as 10. So now what is x actually? X is actually Meera's present age, right? So if I talk about the answer here, what is Meera's present age? Meera's present age is going to be x, which is 10 years, right? And what is Meera's mother's age? So if I talk about Meera's present age is equal to x, which is equal to 10 years, right? And Meera's mother's present age, is what? Is equal to 4x, that will be 40 years. Okay, I hope you all are clear with the question. Yes, so these are the steps that has to be followed while doing such questions. Okay, I hope all of you are clear with this question. So firstly, you have to find out that what is the current scenario, what is the present age is, right? And after that, if I talk about the next thing, in the question, let's say it says that you have to find out that what is going to be the age after 5 years, and you were given with some equation, some calculation in the question that what is going to be the scenario after 5 years. So in that case, firstly you are going to write down that what will happen in 5 years. Like if I talk about in 5 years, in that case the age is going to increase, correct? And then after that, as per the question, you are going to solve the equation. Clear? Now moving on, let's move to the next question now. There is a next question that we have. 7 times a number is 12 less than 13 times the same number. Let's talk about this question which says 7 times a number. That means whatever number we are given with, we have to do 7 times of that number. Now, what 7 times of that number is equal to? 7 times of the number is actually equal to 12 less than 13 times of the number. Now, what is this type of question? So, let's just see this. Firstly, if I talk about the number that we are given it, we are going to take it as any variable, right? So, that is going to be, let's take this time, we are going to take the variable as m. Okay, let's just try for a new variable, isn't it? So, now 7 times a number. So, you will write according to the question what is happening. 7 times of the number, that means 7m, is 12 less than 13 times the number. That means this is actually what? If you are going to do 13 times of the number, right, it is going to be 12 less. This number is actually 12 less than 13, whatever 13 times of a number is, this number is actually 12 less than that. Clear? So now can we all just solve this question? Yes, let's just go ahead with this question and see how we are going to get the answer. So this is going to be 7m minus 13m, which is equal to minus 12. Yes, so that is going to be minus 6m is equal to minus 12. So can we say that 6m is equal to 12? So what are we getting as the value of the variable here? Can you tell me what is going to be the value of variable? Yes. So if we talk in this question, the value of variable is going to come to be 6m is equal to 12. So m will come out to be 12 divided by 6, which is equal to 2. So if I talk about the number here, the number was actually 2. So let's just understand whether this 2 fits into the criteria or not. Yes, let's just see this. So if I talk about 7 times the number, which is 7 times the number, that is 7m. So if we do 7 into 2, that's 14, right? If we are just going to put the value of m here, which is 2, so we are going to get this as 26, and 26 minus 12 is again 14. So that means we have got the correct answer to our equation. The solution that we have obtained is right, as we could see that we are getting 14 on both the sides. Clear? Yes? So now let's move to one more type of questions on simple equation. So these are actually the different type of questions that you get in simple equation. Let's move to one more type of question, right, which is very important here. So now here the question says rupees 13,500 are to be distributed among 3 people who are Sadia, Karan and Lucy in such a way that Sadia gets rupees 1,000 more than Karan. Okay, so whatever amount Sadia is getting, that is the amount which is 1,000 rupees more than what Karan is getting. Okay, talking about Lucy now. Lucy gets 500 more than Karan. So now, can we observe one thing here? Basically, if I talk about the question, we are actually comparing the prices that Sadia and Lucy have received based on Karan, right? Here also it is being compared with Karan, and here also it is being compared with Karan. Right? The amount that Sadia and Lucy are getting, we are actually comparing that amount with Karan's amount. So, in order to just make it easier, can we just if we talk about, can we just take Karan's, the money that Karan has got as X? Yes? Correct? So, let's just go ahead with this and talk about money received by Karan. We are taking Karan's money as a reference here, and let's take it as X. Okay, so money that is received by Karan is X. Now moving on, let's just talk about the next thing. Now money received by Sadia. Sadia is getting 1,000 more than Karan, right? So in that case, if I talk about money received by Sadia is equal to what? That is going to be x plus 1,000. Isn't it? Yes. Now after that, if I talk about the third situation here, which is the amount that Lucy is getting. So what is the amount Lucy is getting? Lucy gets 500 more than Karan. So now let's just talk about the money received by Lucy. Yes, so money received by 500 more than Karan. Yes, I hope we all are clear with this thing so far, that how are we calculating the money received? Clearly? So here we could say that the money received by Karan is x, money received by Sadia is x plus 1,000 and money received by Lucy is x plus 500. Done? Now, if we talk about the total money that was distributed, the total money distributed was actually 13,500, right? So let's just distribute that amount and see that clearly it means that the sum of these three, this actually is equal to what? That is 13,500. So let's just go ahead with the same and form the equation here. So we will say that amount received by Karan plus amount received by Sadia plus amount received by Lucy, right? Isn't it? This is what the question is. And if I talk about the sum of their amounts, that is actually 13,500. Clearly? I hope you all are clear with this, that the amount that they are receiving in total, that is equal to 13,500. Correct? Now moving on. Let's just solve this equation. We could see that there are 3x. So let's just club them together. We can write it as x plus x plus x plus 1,000 plus 500 is equal to what? That is equal to 13,500. Correct? That means 3x plus 1,500 is equal to 13,500. 3x is equal to 13500 minus 1500. We are going to do the transposition here. Here it is a plus sign. On the opposite side, it is going to be minus. So 3x is coming out to be equal to 12,000. Correct? So what are we getting as the value here? Yes, if we have to find the value of x, so x will come out to be 12,000 divided by 3, which will come out to be 4,000 rupees. That means this is the amount that Karan has received. Are you able to understand that how we are solving the question? Right? So if I talk about, let me just repeat the question once for you. So this is actually the amount that Karan had. This was the amount that Sadia had, right? And this was the amount that Lucy had. So we know that the sum of all the three amounts, that is equal to 13,500. So we have just calculated it and got the value of x on that basis, right? So that means if we have to just write the amount that all of them have got, right? So if we talk here, then the amount that Karan has got is equal to x, which is equal to rupees 4,000. Right? After that, if I talk about the money that Sadia has got, right? So Sadia has got how much? If I talk about Sadia, then Sadia has actually got rupees 5,000, which was 1,000 more than Karan. And if I talk about Lucy, then Lucy has got 500 more than Karan. That will come out to be 4,500 rupees. Yes? So these are the amounts that Karan, Sadia and Lucy have got. Clear everyone? Yes? Now moving on. So this is some type of questions that if I talk about the money questions, you can get the money question related to distribution. You can find the money question related to denominations also, that you have certain coins like a 50 paisa, 25 paisa, 1 rupee coins, and then a certain amount is summing up to that, right? So there are different type of questions that you get related to money as well. Okay, now moving on, if I talk about the next question, right, this is the next question that you might get, right, which is again a number problem. So the question says the sum of 3 consecutive odd natural numbers is 69. The question says that the sum of 3 consecutive odd natural numbers is 69. Find the prime number out of these numbers. Okay, so now the question says the sum of 3 consecutive odd natural numbers. So now, firstly, if I talk about an odd natural number, so you can take it as any way. Let's take the numbers as, how can we take the numbers? So, firstly, let's take the first number as x. So, first, let me just tell you, let's take the first number as x. Okay, this is the first odd number that we have. A number which is the next odd natural number. You will say, ma'am, if it is an odd natural number, that means there is going to be a difference of 2. Definitely, that is going to be x plus 2. This is the next odd natural number that we are going to get. Yes, moving on, if I talk about one more odd natural number here, you can take it as any number. If you want to take it as x plus 4, you can take it as x plus 4, or else if I just take a step back from here, right, if I talk about a number that comes before this number, the odd natural number that is coming before this number, that can be x minus 2 also, no? Right, we can take it like this. The other number, if I talk about the odd natural number which is coming before this number, that can be x minus 2 also. Yes, so let's take the number as x minus 2. Got it? So these are the 3 odd natural numbers that we have got. Now in the question it says that the sum of these 3 consecutive odd natural numbers is 69. That means if we are going to add these 3 numbers, it is going to be 69. So let's just find out that what are numbers first. Okay, and after that we are going to move on to the next question that actually is being asked here. So now let's just move according to the question. ATQ means according to the question. So this is says x minus 2 plus x plus 2. So this is actually equal to what? This is equal to 69 as per the question. Yes? So now we can say that this is 3x, right, minus 2 plus 2 is equal to 69. So we can say that 3x is equal to 69, right? So now if we have got that the 3x is equal to 69, what is going to be the value of x? What is going to be the value of x here? So we will say that the x is coming out to be 69 divided by 3. That means we are getting it as 23. So now we had 3 odd numbers, x, x minus 2 and x plus 2. These were the 3 numbers we have. So can we just write the odd natural numbers here? So odd natural numbers are, so we will say that firstly it was x minus 2, right? That will be 23 minus 2, which will be 21. Yes, if I talk about the second one, that was x, which is 23 itself, and the third one was x plus 2, which will come out to be 23 plus 2, that is 25. So these are the 3 numbers that we have got. Yes, these are the 3 odd natural numbers. Now let's just move back to the question. What was the question actually asking for? If I talk about the question was actually asking for the prime number out of the given numbers. So can you tell me which of the following is a prime number here? Can you tell me which number has only 2 factors, which is 1 and itself? So we could see that the prime number here is 23. Yes. So if I talk about the answer here, yes. So if I talk about prime number, so prime number here is equal to what? equal to 23. So this is going to be your answer here. Okay, so these are actually the different type of questions that you get in simple equations. These are some of the applications of simple equations which are very important for you to understand, for you to know that where we actually use simple equations in daily life. Okay, I hope you all are clear with the different type of questions that I have taught you. And if you all just love the class, if you all enjoyed the class, you all can enroll yourself into the 1 week of amazing course, right? Which is the concept booster course, for which you can find the link in the description. Let me tell you what is this booster course. So this booster course is actually going to start from Monday, and in this 1 week of booster course you will have 6 classes which will have 3 maths and 3 science classes. Now along with the 3 maths and 3 science classes, you are also going to get daily homework. That means there will be 6 homework, and also we will be conducting 2 tests in this 1 week of course. Okay. Now, if I talk about based on your overall performance in the classes, in the test as well as in the homework, we will be conducting 2 parents-teacher meetings where we will be discussing about the challenges that you face in your academics. Right, of course, there must be few things, few concepts where you are weak. So we are going to discuss about the same with your parents, that where you are lacking in your studies. Okay. Now after that, definitely you're going to get the e-modules as well. So e-modules will be a great help for you while revising the concepts, while you want to do more and more practice of the concepts. Yes. And other than that, if I talk about the key features of this 1 week of course, so if I talk first key features, the way you are learning the concepts here, you're going to learn even more and more concepts in the 1 week of course. Other than that, we are also going to give you your personal teacher. Now, what is the role of this personal teacher? This personal teacher will be there for your help, like once the class gets over. Because many of the times we find this issue, we find this challenge, that who is going to help us once the class gets over, isn't it? So in that case, you will be having your personal teacher who will be available for your doubts throughout the day. So whenever you feel like that you have any doubt or any questions, in that case, you can reach out to your personal teacher and request them for a one-on-one session. Yes, and if I talk about ODA, then ODA actually believes in rewarding the students. So here you are going to win so many badges, like so many amazing badges, and going to get so many coins which you can use to, the coins you can redeem for getting some amazing gifts from ODA Mall. Okay, so if I talk about this booster course, you can find the link for this booster course in the description below and be a part of this 1 week of amazing course just by making a small payment. Okay, so make sure that you are downloading the ODA app and winning and getting some amazing coins which you can redeem to get some gifts for yourself. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Don't forget to like and subscribe the same. Thank you so much everyone for joining the session. Bye-bye. Bye everybody. Hope you all love the session. Bye-bye.